Hey there, welcome to day 2559 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting the journey, sharing lessons learned in business and in life, both online and offline businesses, corporate America, as well as running, owning, and operating and controlling, buying, selling businesses in many, many different industries across the board. Been around a long time. I'll hit the big 6'5" this year. So decades of experience in a lot of different areas. And decided in 2017, after selling my last business that I had with my ex-husband, decided I was going to do something entirely different. I'd always been curious about the internet, so I hopped on and started to learn and grow and do different things. Some things worked really, really well. Some things I absolutely positively flopped at. And at some point I got sucked into these learning loops where you want to learn. And I wasn't always applying. And so I was like, nope, stop. I don't need to learn and do everything myself. I need to apply the things that are most important for me and my businesses. Excuse me. And to find out who or what else I need to make them more successful, knowing that I don't have to do it all myself and that there is help out there and that we should take advantage of that help. Well, today we're talking about, this year we're doing the Be a Better You annual challenge. And we're trying to come up with our process, I'm calling it the Better You process, but I don't think that's what it's going to be called. Maybe we'll call it the Better You process and have different ways of remembering. I'm trying to come up with an acronym. I love acronyms that help me remember things, especially lists of things. I learned in high school and college to use that as a memory tool. And so I like to do that because I know it works for me. If it works for me, it probably works for a whole lot of other people as well. But as you can see, I'm struggling. And I have in my notebook, my Be a Better You annual challenge journal, that a couple other versions because I'm trying to figure out, okay, and what I need to do. Here's my process for coming up with acronyms. I identify the steps of the process. Then I think of different words to describe that, but the main idea of that step. And then I look at all the different words that could be used and I look for an acronym and I create an acronym out of that. I haven't had time to actually sit down and do the brainstorming of the different words to describe the same thing. And I'll do that sometime today, but we are going to test the process. We've got the steps. We just don't know what we're going to call them yet. Exactly. And so we'll go through that. I'm going to test it on frustration today because I noticed yesterday as I was going about my day, I felt frustrated several times during the day. And that's new to me because a long time ago, I let go of frustration for the most part. And I know my definition of frustration is when I expect something to be different than it actually is, right? Talk about a bad definition of frustration. You can be frustrated all the time because how often is everything and even anything exactly how you expect it to be? Like almost never, right? We imagine and we visualize and we pre-frame and we practice how we want things to go, but they never go exactly like that, right? And if we're going to be frustrated and choose to be frustrated over that, I'm going to substitute frustration maybe with being curious as to how I can fill the gap between where things are and what I really expected or thought they would be, right? Because that's something I can control. Anyway, so we're going to test that process today, the process steps. I'm going to continue to work in the background because by tomorrow, I need to have this nailed in terms of what the acronym is going to be for the year. It's my own deadline, so I don't have to. It's not going to be the end of the world if I don't, but I expect myself to have that done by tomorrow. So, but I will admit, I didn't start it until yesterday. I didn't come up with the process until yesterday. And so this whole year started off a little wonky and behind, but I'm bound and determined I'm going to catch up. I'm doing a reading challenge. And for me, I'm, legally blind. So a reading challenge is a challenge in and of itself, but then we're reading one book every day for 30 days between middle of the month and middle of next month. Thankfully, it didn't start at the beginning of the year because I was sick for like the first 2 weeks of this year. And that's annoying too, right? I don't like being sick or under the weather. For Supersize Your Business today, I asked a question. I asked folks to share one way that makes them better than the competition. Why? Because I want us to start looking at that. And if you're like, I can't really think of anything, we have competitors that are better than us in almost every way. There's a huge opportunity for us in our business to grow and look at ways, how can we be viewed and seen as and actually better than our competitors and the people that our customers view us competitors, right? Maybe we don't think they're a competitor because we think we're light years better than they are, but our customers don't know better. They think that, we're like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And so we need to find reasons for them to choose us over competition or over competing things, right? Everything's vying for the same amount of attention that people have. And so even though we think something isn't our competition, it might be. If people would rather watch Netflix than grow their business, guess what? Netflix is now your competition for, if that's your target audience and if your customers happen to do that, some of them, or even a big percentage of them, that could be a challenge and something to take into consideration when you're providing products and services to them. All right, that's all I've got today. If I can help you in any way, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have a fabulous day, and I'll, of course, do it tomorrow.